What up? It's your boy, Dick Incredible Man. Yes, I am back at it again, and this is Gleipnir episode 13 discussion slash review, the season finale. You guys know I love the anime. I stated that multiple times when I was doing my discussions and reviews throughout the whole season. But this episode was severely lacking. The one part that stood out was the lingering question finally getting answered about Shuichi and Elena, but everything else was meh. Let's get into it.
I don't think I do it good, no, I think I do it great. They would do it if they could, they can't do it so they hate. Everybody wanna look, but nobody wanna play. Stealing eyes.
I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. Hands down, I can't give you nothing but the truth. I can't lie. Why would I lie? Everything about this episode seemed a little off. I don't know whether it was the pacing, the direction. I don't know. Something just seemed off about this episode. Normally, I give Gleipnir high praises because they show us all these different characters and they give each character enough screen time. They develop them a little bit enough, and you understand where everything is going. But this week, it felt like everything just kind of shifted a little bit. Like if it was stacked, it'd kind of be like this. This is how it was kind of. It was off. It was just off, just barely, and you can feel it. I bumped the mic like 6 times, but you can feel it, and it felt so weird watching this episode. Now, I will highlight the fight between Shuichi, Clair, and Elena was absolutely wonderful. I loved that little mini fight. And I will highlight the part where Shuichi got his memories back, and we see that everything kind of really tied into the little Hanukkah ghost or whatever, and Elena ended up taking his memories away with her power, but it comes with a high risk. The more that she does it, it inevitably kills her and weakens her when they try to take on their huge fight against Kaito. So, I fumbled over my words because I was so disappointed. Like, there was a lot of parts that I really loved, but everything else, which is those 2 parts that I mentioned, everything else felt all out of whack and out of order and out of sync. It just felt off. But I love those 2 parts. And then we see the Honoka Aiko ghost or whatever ask this one girl, like, well, who am I? And she mentions, oh, you're Honoka. And then Elena shows up, was like, no, that's not what she was asking. And then she was like, so I'm assuming the ghost asked all these people, who is she? And she has Honoka's face, but Kaito have them asking, who is she? Not because he wants to know if it's Honoka, but because he wants them to answer Aiko. Because there's so much. That part got really confusing, but it opened up the story a little bit more because then we see why Elena took Shuichi's memories, and the Honoka ghost came there and killed his parents. So it opens up a lot more, but it just felt like they rushed everything into this episode 13, and it messed everything up. All of the other 12 episodes were done wonderful, and I enjoyed them. But episode 13 just felt all out of whack to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Comment down below and let me know, but it just felt all out of whack. We got to see Claire and Shuichi stand up to like their little band of renegades and be like, hey, you guys need to give us your coins because we're going to finish this and settle this because you guys aren't fighters. You're not killers. You don't do this type of stuff. So give us the coins and we'll settle this and finish everything. And I love that aspect. But the only thing I didn't like was because we see them meeting up with, I know their names, but I can't think of them, Yoshikawa and the other dude, the long-haired pretty guy. So we see them meeting up with them and telling them this whole thing. And they wanted to meet up with the main chick that headed up the group. But she wasn't feeling it. She didn't want to talk to Shuichi and Claire. And the only thing that upsets me the most about it is because you act like they're the bad guys. They're not. I mean, you knew this going in, that this was going to be dangerous. And these people were literally trying to kill y'all. But the moment that Shuichi and Claire stand up and defend you guys and themselves and prevent further hurt or damages, oh no, y'all don't like that. No, we got to cut them loose. We can't hang with them anymore. No, man, dude, it's so weird. My thing is that when you're going off into something like this, it's weird from the jump, but don't expect that things can't change or along with this whole thing that you end up changing yourself or something, because these people were killing y'all. They were going to kill y'all. One of y'all had to die. That's what the dude stated. And you didn't like that. And you guys were terrified. So Shuichi and Claire stood up and killed them. Oh, but you don't like them when they stood up for... What? It makes no sense. That's just me rambling. I'm sorry, I got all. It just upsets me. It just really really upsets me. And we see the invisible girl following Claire around, and then we see the plant dude and the pretty guy following Shuichi and telling them that, hey, we're not going to give you the coins. They're trying to pull up this little mini rebellion and everything. And at the end, Yoshikawa ends up giving the coins to Elena, and that's how we end up finding out all of the information and everything about Elena, Shuichi, and Claire, and what happened to Shuichi's past and his parents and everything. Because we end up going to his house, and Claire's looking like, dude, are you serious? Look at your house. And he can't see it. Like, his whole thing is messed up because Elena messed with his memory. And the funny thing is, she done it again in this episode because the Hanukkah ghost was gonna probably try to kill him again. And that's the only thing that kind of feels left out to me. Maybe I missed something. I probably should watch it again. But she's trying to kill him. I'm assuming because of bonds of friendship or something. It kind of got lost in translation to me a little bit. I don't know, because I know why Elena and the other guy are trying to stop Kaido. I get that. What I don't get is what Kaito is after, because Shuichi remembered pretty much everything, but in that moment when the Hanukkah ghost was taking over his head, he was finna call her Hanukkah, and Elena stopped him, was like, no, it's something else. But we all know that, in my opinion, Kaito has completely snapped. But then we also get this realization this episode that Shuichi realizes that he isn't the main character. And the funny thing is like we go back a couple episodes and I made like a big statement about that. It was like, oh, Shuichi became the main character, but he's not. And this episode really stated that fact. Shuichi's a side character. And eventually, maybe him and Claire becomes the main character once they become one. But as of right now, they're the side characters. And probably, I guess, if you just really had to look, I guess Kaito would be the main character. He just hasn't really showed up. He's the main character, like, he's like on the backside of the story or whatever. Like, you don't see him. He doesn't show up until, like, it's important, which he didn't until, like, these last couple episodes. And I'm really loving that fact. I still think dude is totally crazy, but I'm loving the fact that he could be the main character, and he's kind of a little bit of warped because he ended up killing the love of his life for thinking that she killed her best friend that loved his friends. It's so confusing. It gets so confusing along in there, but I like it. I'm really, really liking it, but I didn't like this episode. I'm being 100%. I don't know why. Everything just felt out of order, and then all of the stuff they started showing Shuichi, his one classmate that was like kind of fond of him, her having her little moment thrown in there with all of the stuff that's going on with Shuichi, all of the stuff going on with the little side renegade group. Everything just felt so out of place. Nothing really just synced and went up together. Everything just felt all out of order. It's like they just threw everything in a pile, jumbled it all up, and hoped that we made a good anime episode. And you didn't. It felt flat to me. It felt flat. And like I said, when I mentioned, the only two parts that really stood out to me were the fight with Elena, Shuichi getting his memories back and losing them again, but getting them back and us understanding what took place and why it happened and why it had to happen. And I'm really enjoying that, and I'm hoping that we get a season 2 to kind of really dive deeper into everything that's going on with Kaito and Honoka and why she's trying to kill and why Kaito's trying to make her kill all of these other people. It's so much going on, but it's just like this episode didn't answer anything. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't give me anything. It just left me with more lingering regrets and questions and answers. It answered a question that I had from the jump, but that's all it did. It didn't really do anything else. It didn't give me any kind of character development. It felt very flat for me. I don't know how it felt. Comment down below. Let me know how it felt to you. But that's everything that happened, man. Like I know I rambled pretty much throughout this. It's because this episode really kind of pissed me off because it didn't really give me anything. It just was an episode. That's all it was. I don't know. There's other stuff that happened throughout the thing. We see the renegade girl takes the braids. She disbands the whole thing. They all going to live a normal life, and we see at the end that they all are living a normal life. This episode just felt very flat to me. It was so weird, out of order. Everything just didn't fit and mesh together. Maybe we get a season 2 and it'll kind of alleviate all of the stress that I'm having from the ending of season 1. This is your boy Dick Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.
That's okay, yeah. I cannot complain because today, yeah, I'm doing my